Hello and welcome, I am the illustrious King's Decree, looking especially ravishing today. Today we take a look at the top 5 strategy games on Steam. I usually place the games above or below based on Metacritic. Today, however, because I have extensive knowledge of this genre, it is entirely based on my opinion. Notably, this means, even though Age of Empires or Counter-Strike Go is at the top of the strategy tag on Steam, I have not included either of those. Or whatever hardcore 4X simulation strategy games out there, they're not here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 5, Plants vs. Zombies. Woo-wee, I bet you didn't expect old King's Decree would open up with some Plants vs. Zombies, huh? But you expected something more intricate or whatever, didn't ya? Well, too bad. Even though Plants vs. Zombies isn't especially deep, its overall package nearly outshines every game on this list. Let's start by taking a look at the outstanding visuals. Colorful, simple, but to the point. I love it. This game is like, what, 4 to 6 years old or something? And it still holds up so wonderfully. Such a happy game in the face of certain death knocking at the door. Throw in some sick tunes and you've got stars in my eyes and my foot stepping to the beat. And that's only kind of a joke. The music is freaking amazing. I literally have a tab in my browser set to the playlist of the official soundtrack. It's phenomenal. For that one guy in Nigeria who doesn't know what this game is all about, allow me to explain. Start by collecting those little suns giving you essentially currency, then follow up by placing plants with that currency. There you go. My rate is $12 an hour, no checks. As you progress through the seemingly endless amounts of the zombie horde, you collect amped up firepower to help protect your seemingly oblivious owner. Plants like the corn lobber to the pallet machine gun will hold back zombies like Disco Funk Jr. and his pals Bucket and Conehead. But the part that really cements Plants vs. Zombies on this list is Crazy Dave. No one believed Dave when he said the world was ending. Everyone just claimed he was weird. But maybe you should lose the bucket, Dave. Regardless, Dave can conveniently speak with the plants and give them a helping hand. Like new plants for plant food to grow a garden filled with plants that drops coins? Maybe Dave is actually insane. No matter, fend off those damn zombies. Protect your owner, but more importantly, get a jive, yo. Why? Because I'm crazy. Number 4, faster than light. What even is faster than light? The scientific principle, I mean. Is there anything faster than light? I actually don't know, nor care to take the 5 seconds to Google it, so I'm just going to say this. Whatever it may be, it's not better than FTL, if that means anything. Like most games or stories, you are on the run from the evil empire or aliens seeking to destroy you, your lands, yada yada. To save the world, or everyone dies a gruesome death, or a lifetime of slavery, yada yada. You've seen or heard this setup before, but that's not important. What is getting the hell out of Dodge and upgrading your ship along the way. Move from point to point, investigating what the universe has to offer. It could just be some dudes out in their ass needing a lift, or maybe bug enemy people looking to board your ship and eat your crew members' heads off. Definitely only those 2 options, so be alert, Captain. In combat, you typically aim something at the enemy ship, like rockets or lasers, and attempt to take out their vital systems, like weapons or shields or drones or whatever, while protecting your own with your shields and your crew and your healing station. And more often than not, it will just boil down to who has the better ship. On occasion, combat can and will be who can use their ship most effectively, and for the sake of the universe, better be you. Granted, this game somewhat leans more in the roguelike category, but I feel FTL has solid footing in strategy due to its pause and think combat, along with making strategic decisions at designated stop points. Whether or not you can make your way to the boss is directly correlated to how smart you are. Well, that and luck. Mostly luck. Multiple playthroughs are encouraged and necessary to win, granting the little knickknacks to unlock new ships or weaponry. Have that spacebar handy, Commander. It's a long trip to your probably inevitable doom. Number 3, Valkyria Chronicles. Sure, drawing fish, flowers, and whatever wussy stuff is nice, but war, man. War is where it's at. Pick up a gun and head to battle, not for glory, but for basic survival. Your small peaceful nation has been invaded blitzkrieg style, and you and your plucky fellows are aiming to protect those you care about from the warmongers invading your home. Immediately striking is the overall presentation. Colorful and generally visually pleasing, seemingly painted with a rough paintbrush framed on some kind of old-timey paper filter. It all looks wonderful with a pseudo old-fashioned look while remaining strikingly pretty. My only complaint is that the border could have been scaled back. As it is, it takes up way too much screen real estate. Also, there lacks a certain level of immersion. I had this feeling in general at the beginning, but it really struck me with the chapter select, which is physically a book you are flipping through and looking at between levels. This leads to a feeling that I'm not actually a part of the game and I'm just an onlooker. Even in the scenes, there's always that nagging feeling that I'm just a ghost overhead, instead of living in this horrible world that these people have to suffer through. Granted, I think the devs knew this, but they continued with their theming anyway. An artistic choice, I suppose. The actual combat is certainly nifty, but nothing spectacular. Start in a cool tactical view to select units or browse the battlefield. Upon selecting your unit, the view shifts down to this 3D world. A very neat effect. Once in, you move your unit through the battlefield, most commonly into cover, and then shooting at whatever is in front of you. Primary reason this game is number 3 and not at number 2 is because this next game is just, it outclasses this game's combat in every way, which I'll get into in a moment. The story and writing is quaint, and at the very least not cringy. There are definitely some cool cinematic moments, and Valkyria Chronicles generally puts an emphasis on exploring characters, but it can be hit or miss. Of note, the character facial expressions are quite good, if even the lip syncing is way off for the English voice actors, of which covers nearly every part of this game, which is nice. Take those old-timey guns and run those bastards out of your nations. Hurrah! Number 2, Xcom, Enemy Unknown. The aliens are coming! The aliens are coming! Wait, wrong century, but basically the same idea. Humanity is on the brink of extinction. Oh, why has it come to this? Who will save us? Well, I certainly won't. I, for one, embrace our alien overlords. Similar to the previous game's combat, Valkyria Chronicles, you have a few select with which to command. Move your soldiers within their movement range, usually into cover, and look to attack or defend against these bulbous-headed freaks. Oh crap, that's not peaceful. Woo woo woo! Did someone call these beautiful, brave visitors from another planet? I can't even finish it, man. Check your privilege, brah, or there will be problems, yo. Whatever. Take your guns and your superior soldiers and headshot those little freaks into oblivion. But don't go overkill. We need those bodies for autopsies. But be careful. This game, if nothing else, is difficult. Even a single turn out of cover can mean the end for that guy that's been with you since the beginning. Moving too many units forward into an ambush can mean a lost game. Something as small as a hit chance being too low, and you can say goodbye to Earth's last hope. But fret not. You have the world at your side until you mess things up, and the planet's best scientists to help you supplement you to even the odds. The problem that glares its face into my head is the lack of any story or semblance of progression besides, upgrades or better units versus better enemies and stuff like that. Later and later into the game, it becomes increasingly boring as it doesn't feel like there's an end goal or reward. Yes, there's a small go here and collect this important thing and then go over there and do that thing, but it's not enough in my opinion to carry the game past the dozen of similar stressful battles. Overall though, it's a fantastic strategic experience with pleasant visuals. I just hope for the next XCOM game there's a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel, whether that be with just something like lore, or in this game did have lore, I just didn't feel like it was enough. And there's next to no story, and there's just no there was no personality, I think is what it is. There was no core personality keeping you going forward, which was the problem for me. But it might not be for other people, because this is like the Dark Souls of strategic shooters, kind of. Number 1. I think this one is a pretty easy one. This is Civilization 5. Oh, great leader, it's up to you to lead your country into prosperity, glory, and total dominance. But more often than not, you're going to be overrun early by that damn Napoleon or losing to the BS UN vote. Who even cares about the UN? Anyway, start by choosing from about 10,000 different settings ranging from difficulty level, your leader with unique traits, looks, units, maps, and whatever else you'd like. Hop into a chill single player game, explore history through scenarios, or take to showcasing your skill online against other players. You can do it all. Once actually in the game, after toying with settings for like 30 minutes, you start from the bottom with just a unit or two and a settler. That settler will be the foundation for an empire. Fight barbarians while looking for ancient ruins to help give yourself a slight advantage in the upcoming battles. Whether that be through science, religion, culture, or simply raising the enemy city, there are so many ways to go about becoming the kingdom of the ages. It's not an easy path, however. Other civs will be looking to attack you if you're weak, halting all progress and letting the sands of time forget your name. Through the years, settle new cities and look to advance through different science trees and production paths. Around turn 400 is where shit will probably hit the fan. Typically, multiple civs will have atomic weapons, fighter jets, marines, their own space program underway, or they'll just be swell and take all the UN votes. How will you proceed, great leader? Take up the helm and fret not if you lose horribly the first couple games. Turn down that difficulty and just learn to enjoy building a great civilization by your own hands. Wondrous leader, go forth, become something of legend, dominate your foes, spread your ideals, or just bomb the earth. Whatever you do, be the best at it. Once again, this has been the top 5 strategy games by Kings Decree for MMOplay.com. Do you think I'm wrong, or do you have a great idea for next list? Please leave a comment below. We really do appreciate it. And thanks for watching.